Hello everyone, this is Helen H. and welcome to my channel, Moss Cottage. I hope everyone is doing well today. It is the first week of the hashtag Stash to Treasure open collaboration. This is a 2-month collaboration for January and February of this year, and it is sponsored by or co-hosted by Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming, Susan from Susan Hiles Art, Maria from Maria's Miscellany, and myself. And ladies, thank you so much for inviting me to co-host with you. 3 talented ladies. So all of the information I'm going to tell you is in the description box below on how you can play along and everything, and all the prompts. And like always, these are prompts. They are suggestions. They're not set in stone that you can't change anything. Of course you can. There's also optional free choice items on the bottom of the list if you don't care to use what's on our list here. Excuse me. The big thing about this collaboration is we want to use stuff from our stash. So, you know, in January and February, we've been a little bit spendy in November, December. So let's give our pocketbooks a break for January and February and use some of the stuff we already have. Now, if you'd like to participate, I'll go over this quickly, but it will be down in the description box below. You post your video to YouTube for any or all of the days listed. Add Susan, Sherry, Maria's, and my YouTube channel links in your description box, and be a subscriber to all of our channels, our YouTube channels, and then use the hashtag stash to treasure in your title. Because we are not going to be running a list in our description box of participants. You will find all the participants just by using the hashtag, and that way also you will see everybody's, and for the whole collaboration, for the whole 2 months, all the videos will be there. So if you missed somebody, you know, you can check back every couple of days and see if there's new videos. Now, let me get on with it because I don't want to make this video too terribly long. So it's about using your stash. So I kind of had the idea that I was going to make a journal. All 8 weeks I will be working on a journal. That's kind of what I knew. Well, I have an Etsy shop, and so I have a girlfriend who gives me boxes, small boxes for my Etsy shop. Now she gave me at least 10 more than this. She gave me these boxes, okay, for mailing stuff for my Etsy shop, which is awesome. But when I looked at one, I said, oh my goodness, look at that. Do you see it? Do you see it? If you're a crafter, you see it. What a perfect cover for a journal this would make, right? So, just to save time, I went ahead and I cut one of the boxes. I cut the top off, the bottom off, and I cut the side where you have a box. You've got one side that's folded over, so it's double thickness. Here is double thickness. See how this is folded up over? That's how the box is formed. I cut that one off. The reason being, I'm going to have to sew my signatures in, and if I cover this and so on and so forth, I think double cardboard on this end is going to be too hard for me to get through. So I went ahead and cut my box. Isn't this great? I love the size. I'm not exactly sure what size it is. It's approximately, let's see here, it's approximately, let's say, 4 3/4 by 8 3/4. And the spine is approximately almost 1.5. So this is going to hold quite a lot of signatures. That's quite a wide spine there, but that's okay. So I didn't want just cardboard. It's got to be covered, right? So I have rolls of paper, and I thought I want to use some rolled paper, like wrapping paper or whatever. So I came up with 2 different ones. The one I ended up choosing was this one right here. And it looks like birch. Oh, excuse me. Every time I start talking, this cough comes. Excuse me. Birch bark. That's what it looks like. So I went ahead and cut myself a piece because, you know, when you're working with rolling papers and stuff like that, it gets cumbersome and it's big and noisy and whatever. So I'm going to be covering the front and back cover with this, okay, with this birch paper. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But then for the front cover, so the cover is going to be this paper, right? I went to the auction the other day and I got a box lot of stuff, not for these. These just happen to be in there. They are these prints, and they're on cardboard. They're just prints, but it's spring, summer, winter, and that's fall actually. Spring, fall, winter, and summer. And yep, I did it. I popped one out. I said, I'm going to use the summer one because I would never use those plastic frames. I don't think I can sell them in the shop. So I cut the summer one to fit the cover of my journal. And that's going to be over the paper like this. Okay, and that's going to be the cover of the journal because I'm thinking I want to make this my nature journal, a new nature journal. Now, serendipity being what it is, it occurred to me when I was looking at this, these trees in this picture look, I don't think they're birches, but they might be, but the trunks of them are like this. Like they're peely, you know. Now, there's several types of trees that have like the peely bark, you know, but this is peely. So I picked the right paper, and that was just serendipity because I had not even noticed that before. So let's go ahead and get covering this. And I'm so happy to be using some paper in my stash, especially this rolled paper, because like I said, I've got so much, and I think this birch paper is actually just wrapping paper. Now, the one thing that I am questioning myself on is what kind of adhesive to use with this paper. And I think I'm going to go with the foam and poster board adhesive, okay, and by Beacon. I think I'm going to go ahead and use this. I was thinking of using dried, what is it, double-sided tape. And I think I've changed my mind, and I'm going to go with a wet adhesive. If this totally screws up, I will redo it because I've got, like I said, I've got tons of these boxes, thanks to my friend, and I have a whole roll of this wrapping paper, this birch wrapping paper. I don't think I've hardly used any of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do one side of the cover, and I'll show you why in 1 second. Now let's see which way was my orientation on this. This way. Okay, so it doesn't matter. I haven't decided which is the front and the back. I can look, you know, when I get it all done and everything, I will decide which will be the front and the back. I just kind of want it a little bit straight. So this is the side with the glue. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Now I could have put glue all over the back and then stuck it down, but this glue dries kind of quickly. So I wanted to make sure that I got it down well, and I might have to go back. You know how I have to sometimes go back and fix, especially the corners, it seems. But I did try to get glue all the way to the end. But also this way I can kind of, I'm taking my hand and I'm just kind of folding it here where the crease is going to be for bringing the paper up. So now let me go ahead and do this part. Now this might be a little bit tricky for you to see. I don't think I can hold this in the camera. I'm just gluing the spine if you can't see, and I'll do it real quick here. But I want to get a good coverage. I am so excited about this collaboration because, first of all, my co-hosts are just amazing, and just to see what they come up with. But guys, all the collaborations that I've been in, I have been stunned at how people are so creative with the prompts, and everybody like reads the prompts a different way. So I think that is just awesome, and it's just our individuality, our own creativity, and it's just so fun to see what people come up with, and you know, full of ideas, right? Gives you some good ideas. All right, so now I'm just going to go ahead and try to hold this up here and crease it. I'm pushing my glue, but then I'm going to try crease it a little bit here where we're going to do the last side here. And I'm sorry, this part's a little bit boring, but then I'll show you how to do the inside, which is probably a little bit more helpful. I mean, anyone can glue the outside, but I'll show you how I'm going to do the inside. So let me just get this on here. This glue I love because it is super strong. It dries fairly quickly, but you do have a little bit of time, little wiggle room if you need to move things around. Now, as you can see, because I used wrapping paper here, I'm very generous with my ends, and that's on purpose, so that I can make sure that everything's covered nicely. Okay, so now I'm just going to do this. And you know, there might be an easier way to do this. This is just the way I figured I would do it. And you know, it's a homemade journal, right? It's a homemade journal. And this is going to be like a nature journal. I don't know if any of you have been watching, if you watch Possum Patty. She does awesome nature journaling. And now I will never reach her level of nature journaling because she can actually draw, you know. But I love the idea of having a nature journal. And if you watch some of her videos, she doesn't, you don't have to know all the technical names of everything and blah, blah, blah. It's really, you can go outside and say, today was cloudy and 40 degrees, you know, and maybe try draw a cloud, you know, or whatever. So she very low key, let's put it that way. Not, you don't have to be super technical. So what I'm doing here, guys, and I'm just cutting the corners, but I am leaving a little bit between the corner and the edge. And I saw somebody do this the other day, and I'm racking my brain. Who did I see do this? Who does it this way? And it's somebody who did a really darn good job. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it as good as well as they did. And if not, then I'm going to go back and cut closer. But the first thing we're going to do is to fold one side. So I'm going to go ahead and fold the bottom side up like this. And we're just going to, you know what I think I'm going to do? I am going to take a piece of double-sided tape and just put it on the end here, just to help it hold when I fold it up. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm just putting a piece of double-sided tape along here, just because this is, I'm folding, it is paper. This is definitely wrapping paper that I'm using here, but it's kind of almost, I want to say it's almost plasticky. It's not, it's certainly not wallpaper. It is wrapping paper, but it's got kind of a plasticky feel, and it's kind of, you know, springing back and whatever. So I want to make sure we get a good hold there. So now I'm just going to go ahead and take my double-sided tape paper off, and that will help grip it when I pull it up this way. I wish I could remember who I saw covering a book the other day doing it this way. Now, I know a lot of people do it this way. I'm not saying this particular way. Okay, so I've got like 2 bone folders, and I can't find either of them right now. So, all right, I'm just going to use this. I'm just going... This is the way we do it, right? We just roll with it. Okay, so I've got that. All right. So I'm just going to do the other side the same way. And guys, this isn't perfect. You know, it's a homemade journal, you know, but I'm enjoying the process, and I'm also going to be enjoying using it and setting it all up and then using it. And so this is a perfect time for year if you want to do a garden journal. Maybe if you have a garden and you want to make a gardening journal to keep track of all your gardening things, you know, what you're using, seeds you're using, when you need to plant them, tools you need, so on and so forth, the actual layout of your garden. That is also a great thing that you could be using something like this for, and no cost. You know, if you use wrapping paper in a cardboard box, but, you know, it's nice too. And I understand you're not all going to be able to get a picture like I did from an auction, you know, to put on the cover. But you could use a magazine image. You could use scrapbook paper, you know, something. Oops, sorry. I have to get my wipe here. You know, you can use, there's so many other places to, okay, 1 wipe, Helen, how about 6? That's what I don't like about baby wipes is it's hard to get one out, and of course they do that on purpose, right? All right, so let's go ahead and get this side up because I want to show you on the sides what she did different from what I have always done before. And I'm sorry if I'm rocking you guys. I know this is sitting on the table here. So what she did, how did she do this on the corner here? Okay, I should have watched. Okay. I had this little piece like left over because I didn't cut it all the way to the edge of that. So what she did was she kind of pushed it up like this to fold it like, do you see how it's like that? It's really hard to describe. If I can think of who, and I don't really have that much on this side because it's not cut evenly, surprise. But I'm just going to push that back just a little bit so that when I fold it over, I get a perfect little corner. If I can find out who it is, I'll link it below, you know, before I put this, before this goes live, or even afterwards. I can always add it below if I can figure out, oh, maybe I can go to my history, right, and see what, I watched so many videos, and I know this was a couple days ago. I'll be going through the history for like, I don't know how long, a long time. Yeah, so this is kind of, well, the way this is starting anyway is kind of like a trashy journal. But it's not going to be a trashy journal. I'm not putting my trash in there. I have separate journals to do my Trash Tuesday and stuff now. Oops. Okay, Helen, let's be a little gentle here. Get this stuff up. Okay. All right. All right, this is going to be good. So I'm just folding this up and nice and tight. You want a nice tight finish on here. Of course, we're going to put something on the inside. We're not going to leave it like this. And again, I can feel that I'm rocking this table. But see how nicely the corners come? They're like perfect. They're like book corners when you buy a book. So this is shaping up really nicely. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, where's the... Uh-oh, what happened? Okay, guys, what happened to my roll of... Oh, there it is, right there, Helen. Oh, my goodness. All right, this is what happens when you hurry. It's like I watch people's video and they could build a house from scratch, from ground up in 20 minutes. And I can't even glue 2 pieces of paper together in 20 minutes. It's like when you're making a video, time is like completely different than when you're watching a video. Trust me. And you who make videos, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, what? How did we already get to 45 hours? I'm just... gluing 2 pieces of paper together. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to pinch that down and pinch that down like that. Okay. Get glue, the mandatory glue all over your hands, Helen. And then get your double-sided tape. Up. Up. Oh, for crying out loud. You know, this is just the way you can do like the whole thing. And it's always the last one, the last side, the last whatever that gives you trouble, right? Okay, so here we go. Pushing, pushing, pushing because I want it nice and tight. I want my corners to be nice. There are kids playing right outside the window in front of me here. So if you hear weird sounds, it's not me. It's these kids. Okay, guys, look at this. How fun is this, right? And then with my little picture on the front. This is going to be the cutest little nature journal. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, so this is the inside, and we've got our beautiful corners there, thanks to whoever it was whose video I saw. Now, because I want to use stuff from my stash, and again, it's not a trashy journal. It is a just stash journal. I have these sheets of paper. These are packing paper. I have a whole box of these. This one I just put my wet wipe on, but somebody that goes to my church like this is an end product of where they work. They get these, and I have a whole box of these papers, and they're smooth and they're pristine, but it's like packing paper. So I thought I would use that for the inside. Being a nature journal, I thought that would be appropriate. So we're going to do the Helen method of measuring, which is not. And we're going to just crease it and cut along the crease here. Now I'm going to bring it in a tiny little bit because I was on the outside of the board when I pressed, so that would make it a little bit too wide, but let's see how this fits. Top to bottom here. I've got to pick it up to see here. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Well, it's not cut straight. Does that bother you, Helen? Does that bother you? Yeah, it does bother you. Okay, hold on a second. We're going to do this. We have a second to do this. Okay. I'm just going to put it in my paper trimmer. And hopefully, oops. Oops. Oh no, this is thin paper. Sometimes the trimmers don't like the real thin paper. Okay, we got it. We got it. Okay. I've got about 2 minutes to get this glued down here. Okay. All right, I think that's good. All right, so we're just going to go with it. We're just going to go with some glue now. And I'm going to get it up to towards the end, not all the way, because I realize this inner piece of paper isn't as wide. So we're going to go pretty much to the end. I'm just doing it this rough because I'm running out of time and I don't want to have to edit this video. My camera will cut off at like 22 minutes and something. So, and I'm getting there. Come on, glue, come out faster. But, okay, so this is an easy way to make a journal. And with all the other week's prompts we've got everything from beads and lace and cards and, you know, everything that we can do to doll these things up. And so I'm just trying to make sure this is straight-ish. Okay. All right, we're going to call that good. I'm just going to press that in there like that. And, oops, make sure it's all down nice and well here. I know it's not even, but you know, when the signatures are all in and everything, this is not a journal I'm going to be selling. This is one I'm going to be using, so I'm not, and it's going to be a nature journal, so it's going to be going outside too, so. All right, guys, that's it. That's the beginning. My first step one is the cover of my new nature journal, and I will be gluing my picture on, but you don't need to see me doing that. I hope you like this video. Please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. Play along. Use the hashtag #StashToTreasure. Play along with us, guys. Would love to have you. Remember, everything is in the description below if you want to play along. And until the next video, I hope you all are truly blessed. Bye-bye.